Good morning, friends. I had the best dream. I dreamed I bought a new pen. Or was it a dream? Was it a dream within a dream?
Hey there, Stationery Squad and Inky enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel. Guess what day it is? Your favorite day and mine. New pen day! Honestly, I wasn't expecting a new pen day. What had happened was my lovely friends at Memoji said, "Hi, we miss you. Come visit us." No, they didn't say that. But they posted on their Instagram that they were open to from 11 to 5 yesterday. And I think that's kind of the same thing. I mean, even if it wasn't a personal invitation. At any rate, they posted that they have the new Wearingeul pens in. Yes, I did say Wearingeul pens because all of a sudden we've got a couple of our favorite ink makers making pens. I still wasn't planning on buying it, but I was really curious to check it out because, it kind of looks like it's a Chinese pen that you can probably buy for $30. So what is Wearingeul's that's doing that's different? And do I get some lights on here maybe? And then I played with it a little bit and it is really, truly beautiful. And so I came home with it. That's what normal people do. And I will also say that, and I know I use this as an excuse already, but it's a really good one, is that I think it's important to support your local stationery shops and buy things that are the things that you want them to get eventually. So, I really love this pen, even if I didn't care about that. But I think that was also like, do I need this pen? Probably not. But do I want to support this shop so that they keep getting things and use their connections to continue to bring in things and I can support local and have hands-on? I do. So, I sacrifice for you all. All right. So this is a dream within a dream. The Preface series. And I think so here's where we go. Okay, how is this different than an Asvine $30 pen, which we'll compare to in a minute? Well, Wearingeul, true to their form, they're awesome about their packaging, and they are all in on the literature series. So much so that what does this remind you of? Oh, did you say a book? And I think that's really beautiful packaging, number one, and also really smart marketing because, as you can see, this is number 5. And I believe that they released the glass bead game, and I was watching Jane this morning, Jane Williamson, her beautiful horses, and she bought both, and the other one is number 3. So Wearingeul, what gives? We're number 1, 2, and 4, right? Okay, so this is the things I wonder. All right, so on the side we've got a book, and I love that it says read different. Right now my brain is not in a reading place. It is in an inking place, so I like the read different. Where they missed is that this should be like a book sleeve and slide it out, but that was probably another $10, so maybe that's not a miss. All right, before we get into the pen, I'll just talk about, I did buy a couple other things. The other cool thing that they are doing is that they are putting the inks that they carry, which is currently right now Wearingeul and Dominant Industry, focusing on Korean makers. They are selling those for $5. Or if you spend enough, part of the rewards program, it used to be that you get stickers, which I always pick up these cute little alphas. But now for every $50 you get a sample. Is it a lot? Yeah, sure. But do I need more stickers? No. Do I need more ink? Also no, but we're not going to talk about that right now. How dare you ask? Okay, so I got that. These, I don't know who makes these because it's in Korean, but what I do like is that there are 3 whole sets, maybe even more. 3 whole sets plus some vowels in these. So the companies out there that are doing like 1 page for an alpha, and then you got to buy a whole nother book for another A? No. So yay for those. All right, and I also got the Wearingeul dip pen. I didn't expect this to be as pretty, and I don't know because they've had it for a little bit there, and I've missed it or been doing other things. Imagine that. And so I went ahead and got that. So this is a really nice, it's polished wood like material, and it is a glass nib, and it's replaceable or modular, so that's cool. I did not buy the replacement nibs. Probably should have done that. All right, so I wish that was a snap, but I guess it makes sense that it's not. And let's see. I'm going to move it over here. I love my Fire on Fire. I don't know if that's really kinetic nib holder. I will continue to use that. But it clashes with my new swatching station 3D printed thing from Willow Tree Stationery, Bailey or Fountain Pen Ink Station. And so I was like, well, I do need a new nib holder. And I haven't found one that I like yet. So for now, not pretty. Okay. All right, let's get to the main event. All right, with the, undercard fights. That's not what we're here for. So, you see what I mean? Like how much cooler it would have been if it was a slidey sleeve. So then we've got a nice dust box. And of course, I did it upside down. Wearingeul printed embossed in silver. So already a significantly different experience than the Asvine or Jinhao that you're going to pick up from Amazon that may or may not come in a box. All right. Pardon the crinkling. So on the inside, we've got that kind of nice faux leather suede. I'm assuming it's faux. Literature Ink Preface series. And then the pen. And then in the box, we've got this. I'm going to guess it's kind of some warranty stuff. Oh, that's right. Oh, I did see Jane do this morning. Okay. So here we have a little bit about the ink, which is one of the samples that I got, A Dream Within a Dream. Oh. This is the first stanza of Edgar Allan Poe's A Dream Within a Dream. It's one of my favorite poems to teach because there's so many things there. Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, thus much let me avow, you are not wrong, who deem that my days have been a dream. How few, yet they creep through my fingers to the deep, while I weep, while I weep. O God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? O God, can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is that all we see or seem but a dream within a dream? Our lives are short and things don't always go according to plan. In this case, I was explaining to students that like Edgar Allan Poe's is an end of a relationship, and he is kind of thinking about life and how he spent his life. And while it is a melancholy feel, there is this kind of underlyingness about hope and and also a little existentialism. And we've got the dream within a dream. And I think everybody's kind of had that moment where I'm like, can I please wake up from this dream or this nightmare? Or that thought of like, what if everything is just a dream? It's just a really interesting conversation with teenagers. So yeah, there we go. There's a little for you. And it has like so many great things. Okay, we're not going to teach literature. That's for somebody else today. I should have my friend Erica have done that because she's great at voices. All right, get to the pen, woman. All right, now I chose this one because one of the things. So I have set it up myself. I chose this one over the glass bead game because they are both beautiful. I am all in on gold trim right now. That's like my given. And as I'm looking at my currently inked, you won't be able to tell because most of them are silver, but I'm really finding that I do love the gold trim. Gold trim. This resin is really, really beautiful. It's got some white and purple. I've got a little chatoyance going through here and lots of beautiful colors. It also, in addition to having a gold trim, fits another criteria that I'm looking for, in that it is a cartridge converter. So we see that. It's one of these funny ones that had, I say funny, but I think I think Wearingeul is smart, and they used one of the converters that has an agitator ball in it. And I say that that's smart because so many of their inks have great shimmer. And then what I also appreciate that the converter is labeled Wearingeul. That. That's a wee bitty nib though for such a big pen. So it's a little delicate. I got this in a medium. You know, I'm still struggling to see what that says. You guys can probably see it. I think it says Wearingeul. I'm gonna say we're gonna watch somebody else's video and learn what it says, and hopefully they'll have a hopefully somebody else will have a better view of what that means, or can see it better than I can. I think mine maybe just has a bad stamp, and my old eyes is a challenge. I am curious about that nib though. How does it compare with a few things? Let's just do some pen comparisons, shall we? Here is the Wearingeul Dream Within a Dream. We've got a standard Twsbi. Let me turn it that way. This is the Asvine P50, I think. Very similar, except this is a piston filler, which is probably why we have this difference down here. So in terms of lengthwise, it's about the same size as the Asvine. How does it compare to a 3776? It's smaller than the Twsbi. It's about the same length, but slightly wider than a 3776 and longer than a Pro Gear. Okay, see now, if you watch my Pro Gear versus Pelican series and you've like, people were, it was like, kept saying white, but I really think of it as a purple pen. Do you see? Does it look white or purple to you now? This is like the blue or gold dress. Let's take a nib. Let's look at nibs. All right. There's our Twsbi nib. 3776. I don't know. Is it smaller? Yeah, it's smaller. It's definitely going to be smaller than the Pro Gear. And definitely smaller than the Asvine. So it's probably most similar to a Twsbi Eco. They're about the same size there. I'm curious, like, how does it compare? Slightly larger than a Kaweco Sport. Okay, it is larger than the Kaweco. I think it is probably most similar. So not super big, but not teeny tiny. Let's see, I have a couple other. This is my friend Teal's Gold pen, and I know that she also had these manufactured in China, and I think they are very, very similar. This is the Teal's Gold Sakura pen is a pocket pen that grows to a full size, so I think we're on to something here. Sneak peek at my currently inked. So now the fun part begins. What are we going to do? You know it. We are going to make a pen ink menu for this. This is my favorite part about when we have pens with pretty resin. And I think it's been a while since we've done an ink menu, hasn't it? Got everything ready for our swatching. I am going to swatch with the new Wearingeul, the glass nib pen that I picked up. And I do wish that it posts, but thank goodness I have my swatching station here. I didn't have to look very far. I mean, I picked up the namesake ink sample and a couple others while I was there. And then I'm going to use this cute, it's from a couple other swaps that I've done recently. Not even swap because she didn't ask for anything else. But the lovely Heather Marie Plans, such a sweetie, is helping me with my 50 state project and sent a few inks along the way. And she sent this cute little kitty holder. So I love the green Verdient. And while I'm not usually a cat person, I love this cat. This is the kind of cat I like. Useful, helpful, everything a regular cat is not. So let's start. I'm going to use a spoon smushing and a dropper. All right, so we've got the Dream Within a Dream. It does have a little bit of, it looks like silver or purple shimmer to it. I am doing my swatches on Yamamoto bank paper. Definitely not my favorite. I'm trying to use up this pad so I can justify buying a new one, which I don't because I bought like a bunch of others already. But, you know, the lies we tell ourselves. I'm trying to be good because I think I have 6 inks that I want to fit on this page. And that's a pretty purple. It reminds me a little bit of Night Colored Grape. This is the first time getting this color. I should do my swatch card while I'm thinking about it, huh? Sometimes when you write with glass nibs for the first time, they don't always behave well, but that's not a problem for this one. Wow. Plastic cup of water here, because I think one of the things that has maybe damaged my other glass nibs I've had is knocking glass against glass. That's not a good idea. Oh. The next one we're going to do is Wearingeul Emma. Now, a little confession that I was making samples for people, and I think I thought this sample vial was cleaned out, and there was like a little bit of residual something in there that was a little more orange. So hopefully what I sent to people doesn't have this one, but if it's not, it might not be the exact color of Emma. It might be a little bit more orange. I'm glad I caught it. No, it's pretty close. Emma is kind of like a cross between 12th Night and White Rabbit. Heavier on the 12th Night, I think, but it definitely got some of those warmer, dusty pink undertones. Got the purple and the pink, and then let's another new one to me. I picked up. Let's do a little light blue. So I think that's going to be the Little Mermaid. So it might be a little too teal. A little too teal never hurt anybody. Definitely the dreamy. Okay, here's something I wonder about. This wood, it does feel like it has a varnish. I was like, oh, I just got ink on it. Is it gonna stain? But it wiped right off. We'll see. Okay. This is Sailor Shikiori Nadeshiko. I listened to the YouTube video to try and learn how to pronounce it. I still can't get it right. Nadeshiko. You know. I tried. I'm trying. I feel like I need to work on my Japanese to be appropriate. Slightly warmer purple, pinky purple in this one. Lots of chromo shading. Typical the Shikiori line. Now that one's doing some fun things, which would drive me nuts in writing, but on a ink menu. I love some shading in writing, but not to the point where it's all over the place and can't read it. Another pink, we are going to go with Pelican Rose Quartz. Whoops. Not ready for that part yet. Oh, I don't know. Some people at the pen meetup were like, they didn't like this color. I love this color. Now, I haven't put it in a pen yet, so maybe that is part of the problem. Why do people not like this color? It's too light probably for most people. But I like my lights. I like my darks too. I like all the ink colors. right, last one on my table is another one from Heather Marie Plans, and this is Diamine Glacier. I think we're gonna get a little bit darker blue in here, but it's all good. So it's got a lot of shimmer too. Did I mention that I got this in a medium? When I tested at the store, it did great with the shimmer, so hopefully that will be the case. Packety packed pack with shimmer. If I didn't say it before, shout out to Julia here. This is totally her spoon smushing technique. It is my favorite way, and I definitely own that I'm 100% copycat. All credit to her. All right, Diamine Glacier. All back this way. I hope I'm as impressed with the actual pen as I am the glass nib. That usually with the glass nibs, I have to fuss with them a little bit to get them to work, and the Kegmore, but this one just wrote right out of the gate. All right, we are going to, well, we aren't. I'm going to pause here. You are going to have a magic of television moment, and I'll come back. We'll look at these pen inks all dried down, and then we will unveil which one made the cuts. All right, we're back. These inks have dried down, and I was starting to, whoa, bless me, look at what else I'm planning on currently inked for July. And as much as I loved these colors, and what a smart girl put away the pen. As much as I loved the new three Wearingeul, new to me, Wearingeul, Dream Within a Dream, Emma, and Little Mermaid. A little too light in saturation when I was looking at them in the midst of other inks. And then I really liked these three, but I had similar colors in other pens. And this one reminded me of another ink that I picked up about a month ago, which is Troublemaker Foxglove. So we're going to swatch it here. And that ended up being the one that I went with. Go figure. I don't know why, because I was just like, these were at my table. I was being lazy. I think there's enough room. Too bad I wrote the title so big. I guess I technically didn't have to do this step, but it seemed kind of strange to me that I would do a whole ink menu and then not choose from it. That's me, though. I'm kind of a weirdo. I'm sure you already figured that out already, too, so not a surprise to anyone. So you can see just slightly darker saturation. And when you see the currently inked next week, it'll make sense. All right, so I'm just going to do some writing and I'll come back with some first impressions. Oh, I didn't think I tried this. It posts, but I don't feel like it's secure, and then it's really long. Not posted, it feels kind of short. That's fun. What I'm writing here is that when it's unposted, it feels too small, but it's a little unwieldy when I do post it. And then I feel my hands have to, or my fingers have to do the death grip to kind of balance out that unwieldiness when it's posted. So that's a little tough. And as a result, I think just writing this one page, my hand was a little already fatigued. Again, I have arthritis in my hands, well, really my whole body. And so I have much better pens. I don't need to I don't write a whole lot in general, whole lot of long form, but it was the reason I get into fountain pens. So it's one of the things that I really want to think about and talk about. So this pen won't be a long form journaling. It's not a huge deal for me because most of my writing is just, 3 bullets on a Post-it. But if you are long form and you have arthritis, really make sure this is a pen you're going to want to feel out in person. So it definitely feels heavier than, say, the Sailor Pro Gear. About the same weight, maybe even slightly heavier than the Pilot 743. Let's see, let me get out. So I've got a Bone Crusher coming up and currently inked. It's really interesting. So this is the Bone Crusher. You'll see this and currently inked. This is probably one of my biggest pens. You can see it's girthier and longer than the Wearingeul Dream Within a Dream, and yet it's lighter too. So I don't really know. I mean, maybe it's the acrylic is a little thicker. What's weighing this down? But that's kind of interesting. Now I've got my own self curious. I think they're about the same size. I mean, Bone Crusher does. Maybe it's a little bit thinner. They just do such a nice job. Bone Crusher. If you haven't had one of their pens, what's amazing is that you can't feel the threads at all. It's insane. I can feel the threads on this. There is a little step here because I felt like my fingers were crouching up way up over the nib, almost over the section and heading towards the nib. And when I posted it, I felt it a little more. It's not an uncomfortable step or threads, but it is noticeable if you're super into that. Right. The other interesting thing that I noticed when I was writing was that it doesn't write on the reverse very well at all. I mean, even after we've done some. Okay. So last thing I'm going to do, so that's there. I'm going to let this sit probably overnight and come back and do one more. And I'm curious to see if we have the same ink color after 24 hours. And it's because I've noticed a number of pens across all price ranges recently, from a Twsbi to an Esterbrook SD. I've noticed that we're having some, I don't know really, I think it's air, but ink getting darker after sitting in the pen for a day or 2 days or however many days it is since I last wrote with it. So I waited, it's been about 24 hours, and I thought it'd be interesting to see what happened. So this is what it was when it was first inked up, and now I'm gonna ink it up, or not ink it up, but do a little writing. Hopefully we won't see a huge difference, but it'll be interesting. Or we will see. I don't know that the camera will see a big difference. Well, now I'm curious for how long do we write until it gets to a similar color. I think we're pretty close there. Hopefully you can see that, how it lightens up over time. So that's just one thing to make note of. If you're especially in love with the color, or you're working on a special project, test it on your little side block. I always have this little note pepper here off to the side. It's a great little thing. Doesn't matter what kind it is. It could be your dollar store one. I've got one of those running around. It's all good. Just something to make your marks on, so you've got the color that you want. So don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that little notification bell so you can see all the other inks and pens that are in the lineup to complement this guy next month. And until next time, keep ink on your fingers and keep being awesome. Bye for now.